Is the UK going to have an election before the due date? Is the UK going to have an election around the corner? Well, if you're interested in finding out, we're going to be talking about this and more in this episode. If you're interested in knowing whether the UK is going to be having an election in 2024, why don't you give me 1 second? I'm going to dash up to the market and I'm going to be back with more. Let's get it.
You know the way I do it when I drop lyrical. Anytime I spit lyrical, philosophical. All the niggas mimical, but they stare still on taking literal. Punchlines collateral. Maximum damage.
Hello Chronicles, hello YouTube, how are you and you all doing today? It's still your value-based King Fuse out with another value-packed episode. So recently at the UK Summit on Artificial Intelligence, Rishi Sunak, who is the Prime Minister of the UK, interviewed Elon Musk, and he was trying to find out about the safety of artificial intelligence and how it's being used to propagate fake news. And then he said, because there are many countries around the world who are looking to have their elections in the next coming months and years. And then he hinted, now this was what started the trending, the uproar, and everybody talking, got all the news channels and platforms buzzing. He said, even the UK might be having an election around the next couple of months. Now, you guys will remember that the last election in the UK was held on the 12th of December 2019. And on the 7th of December 2019, on the same year, that was when Parliament first met after the new cabinet that brought in Rishi Sunak was instituted. Do you get it? Now, the thing is, elections in the UK are usually held once every 5 years. That would take the next election to be, it's supposed to happen in January 2025. But since Rishi Sunak talked about this, since there's been that buzz from the hints dropped by Rishi Sunak, it's got everybody thinking. It's even got all members of both the Conservative Party, the Labour Party, the Tory Party, everybody's frantically campaigning and trying to think. They're asking, they're wondering, oh my God, what's going on? Are we having elections before? Because the Prime Minister of the UK is within his rights, is within his powers constitutionally to call for an election before the due date. But earlier this year, Conservative Party Chairman Craig Hans said there was going to be an election in the next 18 months. That's supposed to be the time. So next 18 months was supposed to be sometime, not even in January 2025, but sometime down the line in 2025. Now, the way it works in the UK is very simple. If there's going to be an election, 25 days before the election, Parliament is normally dissolved. Do you get it? So if the election was going to happen sometime in January 2025, Parliament will be dissolved maybe sometime in November, end of November. Then there's going to be a campaigning period throughout the festive season in Christmas of 2024 before the actual elections that's going to take part in 2025. You get it? But since the meeting with Rishi Sunak, this has got everybody thinking, everybody talking. Now, what are the implications? We already know that Rishi Sunak is madly driving for tax cuts. And there are rumors that it's the rich that are benefiting from his tax cut. So he cuts taxes here and he cuts even more in the upper class, the top 1%, the top 5%ers. There's also the Rwanda crisis with the Rwandan asylum bill. There's also reduction in immigration. So any prime minister, any new prime minister is coming on board with his senators and members of parliament are going to also come, House of Commons, House of Lords, all those representatives from all the districts around the UK, they're going to fill up those seats, those positions. They're going to drive for different agendas. Or are they? Are they going to drive for the same agendas? Because let's face it, it's still the same players, but maybe it's going to be either the same prime minister or a different prime minister. Do you get it? So there's so much uncertainty, but Rishi Sunak has got everybody talking. He's got everybody talking, and the rumor mills is filled up with a lot of conspiracy theories. People are asking themselves, oh my God, is there going to be an election maybe in January, maybe? Which means most of the reps have not had enough time to campaign. That might be too soon. Could it be mid 2024? Could it even be in the 12th quarter, the first quarter of 2024? So a lot of people are thinking. It's got a lot of people talking. Did you get it? So there's going to be huge implications. Going to be huge implications for immigration. It's going to be huge implication in the healthcare sector, in the manufacturing sector. There's going to be huge implication for even foreign policies as regards to the way the UK deals with its allies around the world. So you guys need to keep it locked on this channel. I keep saying it. I'm not going to get tired of saying it. If anything breaks out, we are going to be one of the first people to put it out, because you know we always come through with top-notch information, okay? In our last episode, we talked to you guys about Rishi Sunak and why he's under immense pressure to deliver on taxes, to deliver on jobs, to cut down on immigration. If you've not catched that content, we're going to leave it somewhere out there so you guys can catch it, okay? If you haven't subscribed to the Fuse Chronicles channel and you're interested in the UK, whether working in the UK, studying in the UK, or even visiting the UK, I don't know what you're doing. I don't think you're doing the right thing. So why don't you go on down, smash the subscribe button, like our videos, turn on the notification bell, share this content with your friends, and follow us on our social media platforms. We're active on Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn. So whatever your favorite social media platforms are where you catch your content, we drop content on all of them. So good, the handle is up there somewhere. It's the same for all four. It's at Fuse Chronicles. So if you want to know more about Rishi Sunak, why he's under pressure, why he's even probably going to call for an early election before the due date, which was supposed to be January 2025, I'm going to leave the video link right here to the right. Click it. You're going to watch that content and know what could be the reason why he is calling or might call for an earlier election. Okay? And until the next one, I remain your value-based king, Fuse. I'll catch you guys on the next cut. Bye-bye for now.
Style is what I call art.